I could be a leader, ruling over a nation. All about the world, I hear my voice. There's a strong voice. I'm intelligent and wise. A beautiful voice. There's one, I hear my voice. There's a strong voice. There is more now. The spirit of wisdom is calling, and the voice of unity must answer to this moment. Hello, everyone. I know it's a raining day in Georgia, and it is a raining day in Georgia. I'm literally just getting home from work. Yeah, it took us longer today for our duty. So yes, so I'm here to have a conversation with you for like an hour. I think I will be appearing on a couple of shows this week. That is also air in Liberia. So my voice to the happening in Liberia. I will go on some platform I've not been on before to just add my voice, you know, to the conversation. And I think I had some things to say. Now, let me say welcome to you if you're here. All right, let me look and see who's here. Here, Daniel, welcome. I'm going to go ahead and ask you to share if you're here. Please share. And I'm going to talk from history. I know some of you right now, you are in power. So wrong no longer matter to you. And right does not matter to you either. Logic does not matter to you. Critical thinking does not matter to you. And ethics does not matter to you. The Constitution does not matter to you. What matters to you is you're right. And based on that mindset, we killed over 250,000 people who rip and traumatize the whole nation. You know, people will say, why you're negative, why you're this, why you're that. Because we don't face this reality, does that mean that it will disappear. It just means we're prone to make the very mistakes that took us to where we are in the wilderness. That's what it means. I just pulled a picture up from the beginning to see how many of you remember this man. I remember him. He was my neighbor. This man was my neighbor when I was a teenager. He was my neighbor. He was the most powerful man in Liberia. Me as a teenager, he was. I put that picture up to see how many young Liberians will answer that question to let me know who that was. And the jury is still out on that. All right? That man, this man right here, I'm going to continue to show him. And there's a reason for which I'm showing him today. I know there's a lot going on in Liberia right now. You know, yesterday I try now not to run and come and jump up with Liberians when things happen. You run for people who are going somewhere. You run for people who have aspiration for change, for betterment of their own lives and their own well-being. You run for those people. You run for the people who think they have had it enough, or they have had enough, that they need to do even that for themselves, for their children and their children's children. That's for whom you run. You run for people who are fighting to survive, but they just need a little push. That's for whom you run. Supreme. Okay? That's whom you run for. You run for people who want to learn how they got to where they got to, even if the story is bad, because they don't want to make the same mistake. That's for whom you run for. You run for people who genuinely want a betterment of the neighbor, not just they and their children. That's for whom you run. You run for people who are eager to find out the truth, not what suits them. That's for them whom you run. Now, this man right here is called Jenkins Z.B. Scott. During my teenage year, during the reign of Samuel Canyon Doe, he was the most powerful man in Liberia. I would say in my Donald Trump voice, he would point at somebody and be shot in the middle of Broad Street and nothing would happen to him. He was my neighbor. I don't know. You know, when I say that, maybe people can say, how many places does Yasindi live? I think God put me in places for a purpose. When we were in Monrovia, we were at my uncle's house where we stayed for my parents to build their own house. And the house was on the old road behind Surface Ice Cream. Along that beach path, all the way down, that particular little area also have the U.S. Army compound. It have those who have color spot, where the Dutch people who had a photo center. It had I believe, the only animal clinic in Montserrat. It had that place. It was Sanders' parents who had it, because my friends or friend of my brother, they used to celebrate there on the beach, and we all used to go there. And then the people who have photos card, their son who were around our age or my brother's age, name were Yetro, and they were Dutch. If you go all the way down, let's say you go to Surface Ice Cream shop, you're going to the beach, you turn right, you're going to go to the U.S. Army compound. If you go, most of you will not know that. Now, a lot of things have changed. I'm sure it's not the same. This is about, 34 years ago. All right. I'm just giving you a reason. When you make a left, just right behind the Surface Ice Cream shop where the Ivorian MSA, they had the Guinean MSA. I don't know. I think Sierra Leone MSA were around there. Then if you go straight down on the old road path, that way you have like all the different Nigerian house and all of that. But in the back of the Nigerian house, across the swamp, the Duke River, on the side of the animal clinic, you go left, you go all the way down. When you pass the animal clinic, right on the left of the animal clinic was Samuel K. Doe brother, Jackson E. Doe house. You count about 2 houses down that were Yifchu house. Another house, I think another 2 houses that were our house. Then you go down a little bit, you pass Mitty their house. With my brothers that were listening, they will know who Mitty is. Then we have a little community there. Not too long far, it was Barbara house. In the back of Barbara house, all the way down, these are all government officials I'm talking about, and they all live in mansion. It was Jenkins Scott house, just along the beach path. Liberia, I'm giving you a story. Me, I've been there. Now, Jenkins Scott, the Liberian elders, you're listening to me, Liberian young people, because of your life they're playing with. Me, I'm old. Okay? I am old. Liberian elders, Jenkins Scott, When Liberia was going bad, the justice minister, who was supposed to advise the president, Mr. Oswald Tuweh, this is your role. That position supposed to be the conscience of the country, the conscience, the most patriotic person, the only person who can check the president, the justice minister. Babala got in the street and threatening the whole of Liberia. In fact, he called Liberian Baple. You see, any Baple, they must kill them. Babala, not Babala, I'm talking about Genghis Khan. The Speaker of the House at the time wanted to resign. Genghis Khan told them he should not be allowed to resign. Misled Samuel Kanyundo, as the rest of them, the so-called elders and chiefs and so of Liberia. We are back to where we were before. I went today, I didn't listen to the justice minister. But I learned he sided with the majority bloc. When Yeke Kwaluba told us in June or July that they were planning to remove the speaker, they said he was crazy. I was on Facebook yesterday and I took some screenshots. I tried to be a little bit quiet to kind of process what is going on in Liberia. And young people, old people came on Facebook writing, and all the big man Yeke guy, he got slapped. He didn't say anything. Yeke has slapped somebody yesterday, or got in his car and ran over somebody yesterday. They would say Yeke, that crazy man. But they were looking for reaction to start a war. They say Amos Tuweh slap Wia. Not Wia, I'm sorry, Yeke. Today I learned that the justice minister said, and I also learned, allegedly, Pape Boaka called the speaker to resign. The things Pape Boaka and Charles Bronski, Alexander Cummings, Belinda Ure were in court for the duration of the undoing of Kabina Janneh, standing for the law. And now it brings me to think that they weren't standing for the law. Boaka was not standing for the law. Boaka don't care about the law. He cares about what benefits him. I know most of you will come here and talk Itabeta, but I know Boaka. That's why when you were calling me with your position business, there is no amount of job or title or office in Liberia that will make me look at evil and support it. I support that. So most of you were nowhere around. Nobody knew your face and knew your name. I supported Pape Boaka in 2017 on this platform. That where the George Lobo, all of them found their voices. They were all here on this platform. That got 8 people today. That maybe by the time don't only have 1,000 people watching. This platform was on here when we were in Nimakante. 2016. They called me from there. That he will call me. Prince Johnson called me. Pape Prince Johnson said somebody here to Georgia to speak to me. I'm not knocking my chest. But one thing you will get from me, if truth-telling, consistency, patriotism, and integrity. Integrity means doing the right things at all times. It does not matter if somebody's looking. Because I know you're Liberian people, you use that word loosely. Just as you loosely use development, you just hear a word and you pick that up because it sounds nice, because everyone is saying it. That's what integrity is. We teach our children here from a very young age. Do what is right at all times. It don't matter if you're man there, you part there, or somebody's looking. That's integrity. Most Liberians don't have it. They don't. So yesterday, when Papa Bouaka was going to court, was he forced to go to court to speak about the law that were being prosecuted, that were prosecuting Kabina Janet? Because today the law does not matter to him. Just as yesterday, during the CPP leadership, it didn't matter to him. But let me say to you, Mr. Oswald, to where? The decision that the elders made in 1990, 1989, in 1985, in 1983, in 1981, in 1989, it impacted all of us, the whole nation. And they continue to impact the nation. It have impacted almost 4 generations of the nation. The 2 last generation, the next 2 generations, that's 4 going to 5 generations. Every 20 years is a generation. So you have people in their 20s, you have people in their 40s, that's 2 generations that were grown, they were adults, young adults like me, that they impacted. And my mother's generation, who were interrupted, her whole life was interrupted. Then the last 35 years, so we're into almost 5 generations. You're cutting because you go 20 years or 40 years back. Those are the age, another 40 years ahead. And you people are not listening. I see you come on the platform. When I write you curse, the first thing you go 1%. I am a freaking damn 1%. Proud to be 1%. It speaks to your and Liberian integrity, why the nation is the way it is, why the country continues to stay stagnant, why the country is in the bewilderment that is in, state of confusion that is in. I played this Jenkins Zerby Scott. I say he was my neighbor. You ask my mother. Meanwhile, I talk, I gave you references. My life had been one. I don't know how many of you have ever seen a movie called Forrest Gump. For some reason, I found myself into those places. Like tomorrow, when my story is told in depth, they will say there was a skinny little loudmouth woman who English were not even correct. Her manner or her gear and Madigo crown were not even straight. Okay, she was all over the place. But when the war in Liberia took place, she did this. Okay, my video just went off. Okay. And that's what it was saying. They were saying, we saw her on Capitol Hill. We saw her at the Track Conference Center. We saw her at the United Nations. We saw her in the street of New York in front of the United Nations. We saw her in the building of the United Nations. We saw her in Liberia, in villages, to speak to people, to educate them, so they know their rights and responsibilities, so they understand the history that Liberia, the scars that Liberia carry. Some of us carry the scars, not just in our chest. Some of us carry it in our chest. Some of us carry it on our backside, some of us carry it on our feet, some of us carry it in our head, some of us keep us. up at night. It was your mom, brother. I hope your mom advised him. Jenkins Zebby Scott was arrogant. Power got him drunk. He was supposed to be a well-learned man. He was supposed to be the one who directed the nation. He was supposed to be the second conscience of the president because he was a legal man. He was an adult. He was powerful. Most of all, they know better. Jenkins Zebby Scott and misled the nation. He called Liberian people baple, useless, cheap fish. Baple is something like you catch it. It's the cheapest fish in the market. That's how he described Liberia. Giving advice to remove actually the Chief Justice, to remove the Chief Justice. So we are here. History is literally repeating itself. So I came tonight to talk to the Liberian people, most especially to the young people. Like I was saying, during the campaign, the last phase of the campaign, people were calling me from everywhere. Says, yeah, Cindy, you're smart, you're educated, you're being on this. You can be an ambassador, you can be this, you can be that. My conscience was not going to allow me to. What I built, my name, I was not going to. Like I said, I supported Pape Boaka. 2017, I put everything on the line. Everybody were here. People were putting me on my phone to call to Liberia. Pape Boaka was calling in here. On my phone, he has my number. Even before the election. When I hear some Liberian people say, you won't talk to the Pape? No, I don't. I don't. And you know, somebody will say, who are you? I'm just a simple Liberian woman. A woman with morals that most of you will never consider. A woman, I have no reason to. I have absolutely no reason to be desperate. I work here. I live here. All my adult life I've been here. My children were born here. Everything that I know that worth everything to me is here. My husband, my children, my grandchildren. It was not by choice. I was forced out of the country. We were forced out of the country. We were forced to make life. We were forced to stay alive. We were forced to become breadwinner of our family that was scattered around the world because of a few persons' greed. That's why I'm here. But the man I once knew, the man that was like a father to my brother, the man that could pick up the phone to talk to, the man that when he traveled here, he would sit in somebody's house and say, you call my daughter, Cindy, let me talk to her. I'm talking about Pape Boaka. When I watched that same man got on a stage, not just a stage, he raised his hand, took an oath to speak about a man where he once introduced to me as his friend and brother, as I led the tour of the community, name in his honor. As I led him to have dinner with the very man that he sat on in the courtroom to deny. I was traumatized once again from the dishonesty, the lack of integrity of Liberians, or most Liberians. Call me 1%. I'm part of that 1% of Liberian who will not watch their brother killed just to have money. I am that 1% of Liberian who believe in hard work and integrity, doing the right thing at all times. Don't matter what it takes, even if the goal goes against me. I'm part of that 1%. I'm part of that 1% who still believe in humanity, that we can all live and live a good life together. If everybody in that 1% pack everything and see everything, I'm part of that 1%. I am part of that 1% that most Liberian will never be wishy-washy. You move here, you say one thing, you move here. When it benefits you, then it's just. When it does not benefit you, then it's incorrect. I'm part of that 1%. So I know they will come with that 1%. Go tell that way. And what it tells me is, you Liberians, majority of you are intimidated by the 1%. Majority of you feel inferior to the 1%. Majority of you who come with the 1% because we come to have conversation as Liberians to see how we can lead our nation, where we can take our nation to. Where did we go right? Where have we gone wrong? To move. You know, I always say this. My greatest, the greatest of American. I love a lot of favorite quote, but one of my favorite quote of all time of the United States. That's why I believe this 4 years will come and pass, and America will reset. Because I teach American history, and I know the road she's traveled. She has traveled some very tumultuous road and still able to repair herself. It says the greatness of America last night in her enlightenment, meaning her knowledge, her power, but what? Her ability to repair herself. It's something that Liberia is not able to do, have not found herself to do, have not found a place to stand, to look herself in the mirror and say, I am the man in the mirror. How do I repair myself? How do I fix one leader after another? One leader after another. You continue to make the same mistakes over and over, like I said. And I repeated this. Those of you who have followed and heard me for the last, what? It's 2024, 10 years. I've been here. I've been here on social media for 10 years. When there were no Facebook Live revolution in 2015, there was Facebook. But on the live, we used to go in the studio to Patriot House in Stone Mountain once a week to air. In 2014, I was on MSNBC fighting for Liberian during the Ebola. I was the first foreign Liberian in the foreign land to be interviewed, to bring light to Ebola being Liberia, because Liberian people were lying and saying, well, now, because get his people have carried their what do you call it, their lab over there. They say Ebola came from somewhere, Congo, and came to Liberia. And the people were not talking about it. When Sawyer went to Nigeria to try to escape, to come back to the States, that's when he got very sick with Ebola. And then the other young man who went to Texas. And I did an interview. Then I did an interview for Channel 7, Atlanta Live. Then I did another interview on NPR. I know a lot of people don't know this. Is that something that you go, I used to see people sit on Facebook who are just coming, knocking my chest. You are not in the same category because I've been on this news channel, I've been on that news channel. CNN were calling me. All of this big news channel. My focus was, how do I find ways to help my people? Whole Foods, Costco, Sam Club, what do you call it? All the major places called to see how they could help, how they could provide relief. Okay? My community said, tens of thousands, now hundreds of thousands of PPE, different supplies. We shipped it to Liberia because I spoke to news station condemning how long it took. The Liberian government decided they will not acknowledge our work, and that's okay. We don't do the work for Liberian government to acknowledge. We do what we do to save mankind and to save our brothers and sisters. That's why we speak. That's why we move. That's why we spend our own money. That's why we, even when we are tired in the middle of the night, we stay sit up. My job is to speak the truth. And I see this as a vocation, a calling for the higher power. Because when I'm not able to do it, I get restless. Like the other night, somebody tagged me and says, yeah, the little girl is stuck in my place, so and so. It's 11:30 in the night. And I'm looking for somebody that will go live. I could not get Lofa Ben was talking his high blood pressure. I was forced to sit up for that moment to get some answer for this child. I'm still waiting for this young man to call me back to say, they said they found this little girl. But we haven't heard anything, nothing from the police. But how will you hear anything from the police when the whole nation is consumed? Because this is what it's about. Looting the nation. It is clear. Let me play this. Why I say this. Here is the reason why I say this. This is not about the people of Liberia. This fight is not, I have nothing to do with Liberia. This fight has to do with supporting Liberia. It has nothing to do with to educate our children. It has nothing to do with to save our pregnant sisters and brothers, our wives, our auntie, our nieces. This is not what it's about. It is not about creating a better school system for our people. It is not about, okay, having an institution. What Liberia has, it's like a paper card. So you write all these fine laws on the book, but you will not uphold it. When I hear Liberian people say there's no system, you are the system. Okay? The system is abstract, meaning it's in your head. Even if it's written on paper, it's still in your head. When you read it and you act on it, that is the system. That's how the system flows. So when I left from work today, while I was coming, it was raining. The light, just before you turn in to come to my subdivision, the light was blinking because the wind had hit it. We all that came to that stop light or that flashing light, we knew that the right of way is always given, is never taken. So we all, because we are in a civilized, a civil society, you come first, you stop. There were no policemen. See the mind? Because we have been taught to do that. They will stop. You let your friend go. The person who come on next, you go until the people will come to fix the light or until a police will come to that junction. Okay? That is system. It is system. When I go to court and I do not have a lawyer, that I'm not in any fraternity, I'm not in any sorority, and I show up at the court and I have all my documentation that I know that I don't need a lawyer, and the judge look at my truth and side with my truth, not with his brother, not with his fraternity sister. That is a system. Am I saying America is perfect? No, I just quoted the greatest of America last night in her enlightenment, but her ability to prepare herself. You have been on this merry-go-round for 177 years. The first 100 years or 130 years plus, the first group that were there, 300 families took everything to themselves. I know people were going to say, like, we have Air Afri, we have this airline. Let me speak. I've been on every side of the aisle. I've been on both sides of the railroad. I have lived From cleaning my backside with banana leaf to having water in the house and knowing what commode is, the running where your people drop in the big old hole. I know both of that. I remember when we would go home to Mainpa for Christmas, that from Monrovia all the way to Seclipi was dusty. That my man then would tie our hair and tie our nose. Pour gargle on our face for the dust not to go in our nose. That's how it had been. When Liberia had a GDP comparable to Japan, there was there 80% unemployment. I think I told you people here. We have refused to repair ourselves. And we see history repeating itself. My great uncle went to what I call it, Funanipo, was forced to go to Funanipo for taxes. I have one uncle who left from Firestone, come home to die. Great uncle. I met him one time. I met him when my dad had died, and I went home. Shallow, very light-skinned dude. You would think you were a Fulani, but you were little. This is Liberia. This is the Liberia that we have cultivated. I see, and you see our young people dancing. You know, I keep talking, it breaks my heart. When I go to work, and see 11 and 12 years old, thinking out with their peers, writing, reading. When you're asking a 7th grader where they want to be, they tell you where they want to be. And when you ask them, well, how much does that job pay? What does it involve for you to get to the highest of the height? How much studying you need to do? How long in college you need to do? How long in test school you need to go to establish your own business or entrepreneurship? What are the perks? What are the pros and cons? And these kids are able to explain to you, and then telling you who all have become that much person due to that. And your only good example is mostly people who stole, who continue to lie to get to where they are. Majority of your millionaires in Liberia, if you check the background, they were either rebels, they were working for rebels, they were other government officials stealing from the people, and very few. Very few. Okay? I know it is not what some people want to hear, but those are the facts. Those are the truth. Where we are as a nation. Okay? Here we are. So, I ask all of you, hey, Mama, this man right here, the road that this man, where Oswell Tuet is playing today, this is where this man, he died in the street beyond the very mansion that he had key to. Jiggy Jabby Scott, handsome, when they say good-looking man, eloquent, meaning well-spoken, well-dressed. I was just a teenager. But this man was one of those people who misled though. I don't believe that Tuet is misleading Pape Boaka because Pape Boaka knows better. Hi, Sis Yama. Pape Boaka knows better. Pape Boaka knows better. I came to the point I said, I am a proud 1%. You will, that 1% you're talking about, Alexander Cummings, every time I post, you come on my post. Although, before you even heard the name, Alex Cummings, I was here. Alex Cummings was on his side of town, or on my side of town. I was here advocating for you. From 1990 to today, I was here advocating for you. But you come on us to be annoying. You come to act like you're stupid. You come to act like something is wrong with your mind, your processing unit. That way you come to act like. You island, you mind and part ain't treating you. You don't know anything about common sense. Common sense is what we call critical thinking. When you're able to think stuff through and filter through things, that's what it is. And you think you're being funny or annoying. But most of you look stupid to me now as we continue. You really do. You're unpatriotic. You're unserious. You're disloyal to yourself. You're dishonest to yourself, because I'm sure when you look in the mirror, you know you're very dishonest. You know, the other day when Yaka said they were bribing the guy from the Free Pool, Dukley, had given $900,000 to bribe. Pazawe came on Facebook and said, do you know how much $900,000 is? It can't fit in one car. I came back and wrote the dimension. It can fit in one duffel bag, one backpack, if the $100 note each. Then we left that story alone. We're living in a technological world. We're living in a global village. This is not yesterday. This is not 1980. What is happening here? Let me say this to you, the Senate. Abraham Darius DeLong, Yomli Kanga, Nyatuanye, all of you that are in that Senate, who yesterday you all were escorting Alexander Cummings, Belinda Ure, Joseph Boakai, and the late Charles Bronski to court in the name of the Constitution and justice for Justina Johnny. Today, the very thing you stood against yesterday, you are doing just that. And you're trying to bring war. And Liberian young people that they are giving $2 to come out and dance, to come out and curse, to get on Facebook and insult, to make the noise. Me, I know UP politics very well. I was the heart of UP. You have to remember, UP, Joseph Boakai is now originally from UP. Joseph Boakai is originally from Baucus Mafia Party. He's not. UP is the party of Kesali, Pole, and Jackson Fiado, Jackson Efdo. My mom, they were part of UP. When Papa Boakai was running and I sat on this platform, most of you met me here. When the results were coming in, they were calling. We will be saying that they have won. The people were coming. Yeah, UPP must say they have won. So we know that now that they have the resources, they have they're here on the bank. And what is disturbing is we remove justices during Doe time. We did the same thing during Taylor time. But our lawmakers have never been able to write and correct, okay, and make explicit in that Constitution the things that are implied. So the judiciary or the Supreme Court can interpret it and have it on the book. They have not rectified the things that brought chaos. Why are they even there when the nation is in chaos? Why are they there? They got 700 million or 700 million budget. Where would the money come from? They created no new job. In the world over, you budget, the money will come from taxes, personal taxes, income taxes. What income? You will reduce the size of the employment. What new job do you have? Now they're telling you they need $8 billion in 5 years. Listen, these people spend over $16 billion in 12 years. They left in less than a year. Most of them were broke. They will collect the money. They will divide among themselves. They will send their children to the best university in the world. They will pay their nieces their school fees. They will position them. They will bring them back and give them jobs, just as they're doing today. And your children will be dancing in the street. they will be on drugs more and more. They're not doing this for you. This is not about you. Listen here. This is one of the lawmaker, the so-called lawmaker, they're removing Funani Kofa. We don't want leadership that when our people can reach us. We don't want a leadership that will have special section. The Senate are receiving 100%. Receiving 40%. You hear that? I'm telling you, it's not about y'all. We don't want. They're not doing this about the Liberian people. It's a Sanda. We don't want a leadership that will have special section. The Senate are receiving 100%. We are receiving 40%. Y'all hear that? I'm going to repeat it and I'm going to be done. We don't want leadership that when our gas people can reach to us. We don't want a leadership that will have special section. The Senate are receiving 100%. We are receiving 40%. So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that. The children are sitting on benches. You have some of the best wool in the world. They give money to people to go bring wool from China. China come to you to get wool and take it. You buy it, $2 million. They divide it, take their own. The people that are fighting on Facebook, their man, their auntie, their uncle, all of them in the government. So they're fighting for they and the family. You who voted for them. That's why I told you. Call me anything you want to call me. He just told you the leadership he wants. That's why they were removing Funani Kofa. Because they're not getting all the gas slip. It does not matter. If 3.5 million Liberians cannot afford to eat, it does not matter if over 300,000 young Liberian people are frustrated, and out of the frustration, they're unemployed and addicted to drug because of hopelessness. It does not matter. They're not proffering solution how to get the young people out of the street. They're not proffering solution how to create jobs, okay, to get at least to 50-80% unemployment. Okay, they are not interested in that. They're interested in looting the nation for they and their family. And you're in the street, in the ring. This is what it's about. That's clear. That is clear. But I started this conversation with this. Those who do not remember history are doomed to repeat it. We're repeating where we've been. And I started with Papi Bakala. Hold on a minute. So this is Genghis Khan again. I started this conversation with the most powerful man during my teenage here in Liberia. This is Genghis Khan. He died in the street. A justice minister who reigned terror on Liberian people. He reigned terror on Liberian people. Real terror, Terror on Liberian people. He called us bad player. When we used to see his car, we would run. Yes, my dog was barking, so I have to put it up. All right. Corky, come here, can say hello. Come. Come. Little skinny dog right here. Come, baby. This dog right here. This dog right here. This dog is loud. Y'all see Cookie? That's my baby dog. Go, girl. Go. Bye. She got on close. All right. So I started this conversation with Genghis Khan and remembering history and our failure to be able to repair our stuff. When we keep repeating the things that we stood against yesterday. And I went on to say during the last round, in 2017, I said to you people, I supported Pape Bouaka, even after what he did to my brother. When he and your office tried to steal from my brother, $1.5 million. Me, I keep saying it. I will not stop saying it. That's true. Because he acted like he didn't see what the people behind were doing. He acted like he was innocent. Ellie have to come and get involved. Because my brother had published that in the perspective and said if they didn't return the money, he was going to make sure the company that sent it get their money back. And the deal was going to be off. And Ellie didn't want Liberia to be embarrassed. He pretended he didn't see it. But we passed that. 2017, we passed that. We thought maybe he barely didn't know about it. Maybe it was the people. But when he went to court, and I watched him, when I watched that old man, got on the stand and lied. Y'all can say in Liberia, oh, you can't tell all people a lie. A lie is a lie. It's a description of people's behavior. What is said is a lie. There's no other way to put it lie. If you don't want people to call you a liar, okay, you don't lie as an elder. You know, Liberia is the way Liberia is. Somebody say, oh, we send money to our people then. They eat the money. You say the other one, they lie. The children learn from the adults. Who are the role models for Liberian young people? The loud mouth, like the other day I saw this young man, very eloquent, very disrespectful, very arrogant, very rude, family, and he lied straight face. Those are the kind of people who make it in Liberia. Liars and rogues and killers and rapists. Those saw Yumale. Where in the French Yumale? Allegedly rape a girl. The picture is there. He's on there. Clearly putting his pants up. Invite the girl for job business. Nothing happened. We didn't hear the justice minister say anything. This is a minister of internal affairs. This is a minister of internal affairs. What is caught on tape, threatening people. He will murder them. His Bouaka don't win. But they make him minister. Don't tell me Pape Bouaka innocent. He said his nephew, the other one people, nation, or whatever, making ambassador or something. This is the family. And let me say to Liberian people, Pape Bouaka has absolutely nothing to lose. All to gain. Even if you fall down today, I'm saying you will die because you will not come here with that. My second, go to bed now, wake up. Okay? Now, y'all, the UP people were saying, oh, y'all let Pape Bouaka go because he may not make it sense, but he may not do this, he may not do this. And that Pape was lying, was flaunting. I'm saying it. God forgive me, but that's the fact, and the truth shall set you free. We saw Pape Bouaka fainted at the airport just before the election so people can feel sorry for him. He didn't faint. He was pretending. And the people were going, oh, the Pape will just do this. The Pape will just do this. So lie. But he got all that Pape was positioning himself for he and his children, his whole family to be well off. While you're dance all over the place. while you're fighting among yourselves. But I'm going to say this to you, Mr. Tue, Oswald Tue, go back. I know I can't even speak to this because in America right now we're in some sort of jam the way we are. But again, I come back with America, knowing American history because I teach it. And I claim always onto this. The greatest of America lies not in her enlightenment, but her ability to repair herself. Wherever we find ourselves, we will repair ourselves and we'll come back stronger and better. I know that. I can say the same about Liberia. 45 years since 1980. Did I say the people that were there did good? No. They did the best they knew how. They didn't have to kill them. They could have prosecuted them. That's the same shocker they're taking today. That is same kangaroo court that we had in 1980. That is same kangaroo court still going. You brought 13 people. You hurriedly raped them to the beach. You murdered them. Let me chronicle a few things here. Let me let you know what happened in Liberia. I'm gonna go right here. Okay, I'm gonna give you a few feedback here. I got a lot of chronicles. 1980 coup Wikipedia. But let me go here. Liberian, what is that? Troop accused of massacre in a church. 600 people were murdered one night in a church. I'm not going to deal with it. But here is, how you call it? Liberian soldiers stormed, shot 13 former leaders. Here we are. Let me see if I can pull it up. And they're on here. I have all of that in my video library. Oh my God. Why is it doing this? You see right here. These are documented. If you go to Time magazine, they're there. They're all there. They're thoroughly documented. I'm not subscribing, but they're there. Okay. This is Washington Time. They're there. Liberia SQ 5. They're there. Washington Post. And this right here, the 5 people right here, that's the People Redemption Council. This is 1981. They had just taken over 1980 April. But 1981, they were already murdered each other, and some of them were running away. Liberian. Your goal is in Washington Time. Thomas Winston, that was the one I most remember. Okay, Thomas Winston. And it's even on YouTube. Okay. Major General Thomas Winston. Okay. Thomas Winston with 4 other people were murdered. The youngest of them were Tue. Nelson Tue, I still remember. Then Franz Hamilton. Then the raid at LU. Move or be removed. Okay, this is Franz Hamilton. Folks, anybody want it, I can send you all of the link and you can go find it and study the information because I read them over and over. I have all of them documented. All of the killing from 1980 all the way to 1990 before the rebel incursion. So I needed to send this message. Hopefully we all learned something today. Thank you for watching. Francis, David. Let me see who you are. So I'm saying that. I'm not talking, I was not a kid when the war started. I was in my late teen. This is Jenkins Scott. This is where he died. He died in the street. Today, those of you who are family to Oswald, I'm telling you, that position is for him to be the conscience of the nation and of the president. That is his job. I want you to know, I don't care about Fulani Kofa. I don't. He is not one of my favorite people, never has been. I like him as a person, all right? But character-wise, he's not. I always said, for him to have gone to America, go to school, gotten a law degree, passed the bar, he's a brilliant man, but he a flawed man who made a lot of mistakes and still went to Liberia where I thought he was going to rectify and do what is right and got himself entangled. All right? That's fine. But my thing is, if we must change Liberia, if we should change Liberia, if we shall change the nation to be and live up to her name, Labi, liberty, freedom, then we must start from somewhere, especially in this information age. But these people, I'm sorry, my brother Jeremiah Kuhn, you wrote today debunking that there were money that were bribed. You all know. Today, the justice minister that were appointed by the president, whom you are vice president to, because the Nima people coming on my phone, they coming in my inbox to tell me, oh, that you brother don't say anything. That's what destroying Liberia. Okay? Oh, you're going to go off and you don't want Nima country to do this? Listen. What good is Liberia if Une is Nima country? What good is Liberia if it's Une is Lofa country? What good is Liberia if it's Une the Southeastern? We cried about we are appointing Southeastern. Everything be Southeastern yesterday. Today is Lofa country. But it's okay. Y'all took money and gave it. We saw live lawmaker divine money and those who they gave money to. We didn't see the justice minister investigate. Are you guys serious? We saw a girl raped by the minister, allegedly. We're yet to see one investigation. We saw a Liberian girl who literally got in a keke and ended in somebody's yard and crying for help. We are told this girl, well, fine. We heard nothing about it. We don't know if she's there or not. The last time, another young lady, parts were cut up, her knee rating on her skin, dead body getting rotting in a field. We didn't hear anything. But you're fighting over the money of the nation. And the nation is dying. This is a dying nation. I don't see resuscitation. Yesterday, Papa Bwaka said on Arise TV, I will start playing. I need to get me, I got this laptop, it does not have a lot of memory on it. So everything I have gone, I'm not able to pull a lot of stuff up. Okay. To do this work is very costly for me. Okay. For Christmas, I'm going to be begging all of you. I need people to come on this platform. I need people to give me $20 each. I need to add to and buy me a new laptop because there are a lot of videos that I need to be playing. I need to play video from the war, the TRC. Okay. The people who talking now and saying, oh, that person was a good person. Yesterday, the very people that they say grab them, almost killed them, they're calling them a good person. Listen, I'm not going to lie because people die. When you come to my funeral, do not lie. Okay? If you feel the need to lie, don't say anything. If you feel that you should lie because you won't speak, don't say anything. Y'all listen to me. If you come to my funeral and you don't have no truth to say, but the truth you will say about me will be bad, and you don't want to say it, do not lie. Say your truth. What you know about me to be true. If I were bad, say the woman was too much. Say it. But you really don't have to say nothing. Right? But don't lie.
That's what we do. We go to funeral and lie. You don't need to lie. And it does not matter who tells the lie. It's even worse when adults tell lies because the children think it's true. The children think it's the way of life. That's why I have plagued Liberia, because telling the truth in Liberia is like a revolution, like a radical approach. It's abnormal for most Liberians because we don't know what the truth is anymore. We have crossed the line from sanity to insanity. All right. I don't know for Nani Kofa, but I know what is happening is wrong. I know it breaks the laws. And because it does, yesterday I spoke against the removal of Kabina Janet. Yesterday I stood up when we are said Gefty Lama was sitting in the car having sex. Yesterday we spoke up and took the street and asked for sanction when we are said everybody should get their own CCTV. Okay. Yesterday we stood up, went back to Washington, okay, and collected signature when we are came on and said y'all want justice or y'all want development. We make sure the people's voices were heard, that they wanted justice. So what has changed? That's why when y'all were calling me here, I said my papa Moses then started cussing me on Facebook because he had called me. Oh yeah, you can get this job, you can get that job. When the papa take over you and the papa come a long way. I told him I was not looking for a job. I want to be able to sleep at night. I want to be able to live with my conscience. I want to be, when tomorrow comes and people see my children, they can say, your mother was an upright woman. If I need to compromise myself to get rich overnight, then it was not meant for me. For where I come from and where I find myself, I am grateful to the Almighty. I am so grateful from the child who left Liberia with nothing, homeless in a couple of weeks, to have made it, go to school, educate myself, go to grad school, go back to grad school, work in corporate, work in telecommunication, work to educate the next generation. There's nothing more I can ask for. I may not have money, but you know how many lives I've touched that will go on even after when I'm dead? For me, it speaks everything. When I run into some of these children places and they come to say, Miss Martin is so and so, I just graduated from college, or I'm getting married. It means everything. When I teach them about morality, ethics, saying the right things, doing the right things, especially young teenagers who are on their way to high school and then to college, how to shape their lives, it means everything to me. It's like people who work in hospitals, nurses who nurture people, give them hope. It's a Shamicho. But I'm on the other side of the street, shaping the future of young people. Looking like I have this little girl who have been like totally out of it this year. I had to find different approach to get to her. And she's a twin. You know what I did when I in school? The substitute, I brought her up. I called her outside and I said to her, I'm not gonna call her name. And I said, you know, Miss Martin is very disappointed, right? Her face just dropped, her shoulder dropped, giving her opportunity over opportunity. She had anticipated I would go off like most people would do. And I said to her, I said, you know, Miss Martin is very disappointed, right? I said, when I'm here, You are my kid. I'm protective of you. I know you. I can quicker forgive you. But when you have a stranger, we have a guest teacher in my class, you're supposed to show your best behavior, what I've taught you. But I'm disappointed. She just started rubbing her head. Miss Martin, I'm so sorry. And I said to her, you got a bigger citation, but I'm going to give you grace this time. You're going to have a reflective lunch for 2 days. If you argue, it'll be 5 days. If you argue, I'm actually going to give you a citation, a written one. And she said, I'm sorry, Miss Martin. I'm sorry that I disappointed you. I know better. I don't know what I do. She's a teenager. I've read 4, so I know them. I know them. The goal is I'm seeing my kids through her eyes, the future through her eyes. She's acting up right now. But if she sees that I believe in her and she's making a lot of progress, this child will go and walk, this child will do this. That. I mean, when I saw that she has conscience, that the way her shoulder dropped, the way she bent over, just bend her head and say, Miss Martin, I'm so sorry. Because I didn't come to just say, you blah, blah. I said to her, Miss Martin is disappointed in you, right? She knew I was. I'm trying to live a life. Okay? I go to school so that my husband can say, you might not go dressed past the people. I go to school dressed up. I can tell my kids, the young girls, don't have your dress up here. Okay? And then I go with booty shorts on. I can tell them show up ready at all times. Hey, Cookie, come here. Come here, Cookie. Cookie, come here. What's that? Is that mine? I think it's mine. Let me see. Why are you throwing my stuff? Okay. Cookie, don't unplug my stuff. Sit down. 39 even big. That's the clock I ordered for my wall clock for my classroom. When the kids are testing, I can't use the whiteboard, or I have something on the whiteboard. How you put it? This junk is small. This is it. Oh my God, I gotta get a bigger one. Maybe I have to pay more money. Folks, I'm sorry to deviate, but I'm gonna go. But I want to play this Waka voice before I go. Yes, mentorship. Yes. Yes. Y'all want us to address people when all people lie. We must tell them they were telling story. They lie. A lie is a lie. It does not matter who tells it. So I'm gonna end my story this way. Look at it. Oh, it goes on. When I saw Papa Boaka on that stand, telling the word, he didn't know Alexander Cummings. I could never reconcile myself to put my name on the line. Okay? To vote for him. I know plenty of you used to still call me and say, oh, why you don't like the Papa? Why you don't support the Papa? When the Papa said he was getting somebody for justice and accountability, I congratulated him. When they say he won, I congratulated him. When he does what is right, I will support him. I'm a patriot. In my word, in my belief, patriotism is supporting your nation at all times and supporting your government when it deserves it. Today, this government does not deserve my support. This government is undermining the very foundation that the new Liberia was built on. Today, the executive have overstepped her bounds. Okay. When the man was supposed to be a lawyer, the Minister of Justice, shows up and misinterpret the law. I want you people to listen here. This is Papi Boaka on Abras, Africa, in Nigeria, when he was looking for job from the Liberian people.
In every area is our corruption, stealing with impunity. A country that is called is on autopilot because there's no leadership. And we cannot continue to risk the future of a born generation, not to even mention the ones that are there, young people that just country has gone backward. In every area is our corruption, stealing with impunity. A country that is called is on autopilot because there's no leadership. And we cannot continue to risk the future of a born generation, not to mention the ones that are there, young people that just country has gone backward.
That's Papi Boaka when he was looking for job for y'all. But you got his nephew, you got his son, you got his son friend, the people who help him win. You got Yeke threatened. I heard you people say you'll slap Yeke, but Yeke is the one that's crazy. Anyway, folks, brace yourself. Everything that was present when the wars took place is present today. I'm not saying we're gonna go, people gonna go through the bushes, so, but everything that was present before the war started is present today. Rape, no recourse. Abuse of power, no recourse. Overstepping, imperial presidency, no recourse. Everything is present today. Liberia is ruling. Like I say, I am not happy about what is happening in Liberia. Even if Funani Kofa is a killer, give him justice, give him his due process. That's what he needs. Yes, he placed his hand on the Bible and lied on Mr. Cummings as a deacon of a church, somebody who I know. And that's why I could never support him when he went to the second round. And that's why I just told them, both teams were the same. That's it. All right, folks, I've been here for 1 hour and 30 minutes. I will see you Thursday evening. I'm looking to be on another platform tomorrow. If they confirm that I will be on there, I will let you know. All right. And I think I'm going to be on Anderson show also in Liberia. So I'm going to see for the next couple of weeks that I'm off. I have an opinion and I will be on platform to talk about these things. So yes. Imagine it's overstepping, asking a legislature or legislators to resign. Imagine that. Funani Kofa need to do a press conference and talk about it. If he actually, hopefully they recorded him. All right. You have a good day, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to end this story with Genghis Khan, the most powerful Liberian man who called the Liberian people bad play. How he ended. Yeah, Genghis Khan. That's Genghis Khan.